Hi. All right. Another one. It's getting easier to do these. At first, it was hard, and I thought I was gonna be lame. Just doing this in general. And I still get that feeling a little bit here and there, but it's okay. Okay. So last time I left off where today's date. So today's April 1st. I think it's Monday. I think yesterday I referenced it was the wrong date. So I believe today's Monday, April 1st, 2024. Okay, yeah. So I just got off. I worked. I just got off work. It's probably about 8:30 by now. So I haven't went home yet. Um, I was gonna go inside Ross and see if I found anything I wanted to buy. Um, so yeah. So yeah, I was talking about how the police arrested me. How um yeah, how they believed the story about me throwing the well. I guess they believe that, and I don't know. I think in a way, uh, they maybe they believed her. They felt sorry for her, with the crying and all that, and they thought, well, we gotta figure this out. So they just kind of, who knows? They could have said like, well, by any chance, was your son anywhere by here? Could he have possibly, you know, been hit? And then, and then, oh yeah, he was kind of by there, or something. I think that's what they did because I don't know. It just seemed weird, like made up. So they just made the puzzle fit somehow, and that's how that came to be. And then of course, well then my adult son, he was he obeys his mother, So whatever she says, he obeys. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, at all. He'll just whatever she says, he'll do. He'll, if she says say this, he'll say it. If she says forget that. Um, so maybe I'll talk about that, how that came to be, because yeah, yeah, I guess I'll talk about that. So yeah, my oldest, our oldest, he's 27 now. Wait, yeah, he turned 27. So yeah, he was born in 1997. Um, so he was our first one. And with the first child, you don't know, you don't know much. I relied a lot on my parents. Because they helped us out. Um, I only had a sister, and she's almost 10 years older. So when me and her, had a child, I mean, he was the baby instantly of the family. Meaning, her children were already, well, not old, much older. I mean, I think the youngest at the time was maybe like 5. Um, yeah, but mine were always, the younger batch, but the younger batch, put it that way. So, so yeah, my oldest, Ilario, and then that was 97. Then Soraya was born in 2001, and then Bella was born in 2009. So I'll stop at those three for now. Just and then so yeah, our first one, yeah, he was our firstborn, uh, and we were always good, meaning father and son, yeah. And she would say like, uh, "Oh, you need to do things with your son, or you don't do things." And I think she was just talking, meaning like that's just what you're supposed to say. I think, and then yeah, because everything was how it's supposed to be, uh, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. And so one day, I mean, let's fast forward about 16, 17 years. One day, I don't know why she was such. Well, she says those things anyways. Like, oh, you don't pay attention to your son. You're too busy, something. And so she had been doing it for who knows, maybe months, maybe years. So one day, I you know, you just you had it. You know, I had it. So I started, talking back. And I said, well, I answered with real facts. Because I um, I was able to take time off from work. I was, lucky enough to have, a job where I could take time off. So whenever, the kids had field trips or they had doctor's appointments or whatever it was always easy for me to, to have the time off. Just ask, to ask and have it off. So that's how. So whenever there was a field trip, it was automatic. She would call me. She'd say, "Oh, take this day off." Someone, either our son or Soraya had a field trip. So yeah, so that was just standard. That's just the way it was. But yeah, but this day she was kind of letting me have it, letting me have it that I was like an inattentive father or something. So then so yeah, so I kind of, I went off a little bit, saying, like, I've gone to every field trip. How many have you gone out to? And she had been on none. And so then I thought, what else? So I jumped to homework, because I was always a homework person. So if they needed help with their homework, it was always me. It just was. And then so I asked, how many times have you asked him? Have you helped him with his homework? And then I don't know. I think I kept going. Maybe it was too much, but then, oh no, because she responded, because then she started answering. I mean, changing the subject and things like that. So somehow I think it shifted into like me being selfish. You're so selfish. You only think of yourself, or you don't think of your kids. You don't think of me or them. So then, I took it to I started asking her, okay, on special occasions, have you ever? Well, what have you got me? I mean, not to be materialistic, but something we could. I mean, I just brought up something that we could discuss, and there was tangible things we could say. And I said, how many? What have you ever bought me? And let me back up, because she had brought up that, in the past, like if maybe we went somewhere and she wanted to show off whatever gift I got her for whatever day it is. If if someone had something better, I would hear something, later on or in a few days, that how kind of like I didn't prioritize her. So, because her gift got outdone, that would that would bring a little bit of heat on me. So that is something that was relevant, that was relevant with her. So I said, yeah. So I started naming all the gifts I bought her, because I would always buy her something for whatever holiday it was, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, all of them, and then Christmas and birthday. So on all of them, she would get a gift. Sometimes more extravagant, sometimes not so. Sometimes just maybe perfume. But sometimes jewelry, things like that. And I have a good memory normally, so I really was able to go year by year by year, and just name what I bought at what year and such and such. And so then I said, what have you ever got me? And I knew exactly. I said, when I graduated high school, I go, you did buy me a bracelet, a gold bracelet, and I acknowledge that. And I go, but after that, I said, all you bought me was a bottle of Lucky cologne, Valentine's 2003, and a Mossimo watch from Target in 2006 for Christmas. That's it, nothing more, So, and I didn't care about that, but just it's the argument. The argument just went there. So apparently, whatever I said got to her, because well, days later she told me, I hate when you throw things in my face. And then I started saying, well, what do you mean? I didn't start that. You were telling me, I was not spending time with my son and all this, and you keep saying it over and over, and I lost my temper, and yes, I responded like that. And then so yeah, that and that carried on because I know even just not too long ago. I don't remember what the subject was, but she said something like, "Oh, don't ask your dad because he just likes to throw it in her face." So she just went on with kept that whatever that narrative or whatever. He just throws it in her face. I'm like, no, just that day you asked for it. So so yeah, I noticed my son, he didn't ask me for help with his homework, and he always needed help. So I would ask from time to time, hey, you don't need any help? And he's like, oh no, I have it. And sometimes he'd have an essay. I was like, well, how are who's helping you? He said his teacher. I was like, oh, okay. So for about the last school year, almost, I think he didn't ask me for help. And like I said, I thought it was bizarre because, I mean, he normally did need help. So yeah, fast forward. Anyway, so yeah, it seemed like the relationship got just strained. Just more and more and more and more. Um, we would because we would work on like the cars and uh, stuff like that since he was little and then into teenagers until he was a teenager. But then that kind of stopped, and, and then I think he started backing his mother in a way, like kind of I don't remember exactly how, but that started becoming annoying. But I don't mean backing. I mean that doesn't sound like a bad thing, you back your mom, but no, backing her when she was doing something not good, meaning if she's on a tirade of something that's nonsense, don't don't egg her on, or don't that's or don't encourage her, because then it's just uh, more fighting. So and he would do that sometimes. He would kind of agree with her, or um, yeah, right, like agree with her, like um, and then so that caused a little bit of problems. Anyway, so let's fast forward to more present day. Um, yeah, he told the police um, something about, well, I don't know if that's where maybe that's how it originated. I'm not even sure. But on the police report, it said, I guess my dad threw the water container and it almost hit my little brother. I don't know if he was told to say that, but he said, I guess. So meaning, but then again, that's how he talks. But my thinking is that no, he didn't see. He just either he assumed that maybe what happened, or maybe his mom told him that that's what happened, or I'm really not sure. But for sure, 100%, I threw nothing. I've got over that. So he threw that little piece in there that I think is way inaccurate. And okay, so then I found out recently, because I was really not in contact with my family very much the last decade, I would say, because well, Margarita, she got into a problem or war with them, and so for the last, I'd say 9 years, it was horrible, because whenever I go to my parents' house, it was just a nightmare when I would come back. I'd go over there to my parents' house, and I wouldn't even stay. I would stay an hour because she would start calling. 40 minutes in, are you almost back? It's like I'm just I haven't I haven't been here very long. But she would always have some kind of, well, hurry up because something something needed to be done. So when I came back, um, yeah, again she would start picking on me. She would say, who was there? Um, what were you guys talking about? Um, just stuff like that, but over and over and over. So I would answer, nobody, man. I'm dead. What were you guys talking about? Nothing. You know? I don't know. She wanted to know like the actual conversation. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna repeat it. That's weird. For you, someone to request that. Um, I don't know. So then, so she would go on. Oh, were you guys talking about me? That's why you don't. I was like, no, man. Like, what are you talking about? And then, yeah. So, sorry, I'm kind of losing my place because I'm kind of tired. I'm more tired today than I was yesterday because yesterday I didn't really sleep very well. So, let me think. So, we're at. Excuse me. Sorry for a second. Okay, now I remember what I was going to say. Okay, so recently I found out that oh, and keep in mind that before this war happened, we were cordial with, well, with everybody, but she was cordial with, my parents and, my sister. Like I said, we didn't even go over there very often. We just went like on, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, really. I think that was it. Or then sometimes birthdays. So, when this happened, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So my younger niece told me, and she was referencing a time where something happened, in the past. Um, and she was telling me that my son was crying to them, the older son, saying that his mom let him know that that I I never wanted him, that I wanted to abort him, that I didn't want him, I didn't ever want him to be born. So they told him that. So, and I didn't know. And I was like, oh really? They said that? Like, um, um, no, hold on. Yeah, no, sorry. Margarita told my son, and then my son told them. Okay, that's what happened. Now, on the flip side, at the same time, she started telling me that my sister, my nieces, that I don't know if either one or both, that they told him that I never wanted him. Um, yeah, that they said it. That they said that. But um, that's what Margarita told me. Your family went off and told your son that you never wanted him, and you know, just kept going on about that. While my niece said that my son told her that his mother informed him that I never wanted him. So it was a weird kind of a three-way like split kind of method. So meaning my son, became angry at me. And then she tried to blame them that they said it that way I would feel a way towards them. And yeah, so something like that. And then it was something awkward to to ask. I mean, how are you gonna ask someone like, "Hey, is it true that you said that I said that," or whatever? So yeah, it's something you don't ask about because it's bizarre. I mean, I was gonna ask them like, "Hey, did you tell my son that I didn't want him to?" No, I wasn't gonna ask that because that's weird. So anyway, so then yeah, so that's how the big separation came. I mean, happened. You know what um, them telling him that I was some crazy man that didn't want him to be born. That's not true. I never said anything like that at all with him. There's a reason I say that, but that's way in the future episodes. If there is that many. So that's the deal on that. So that's why that's why there's such great division, between us because she created it. I mean, it's bizarre, but she really did, and I mean, she does it a lot. And if I really think about it, I'm like, oh my god, like, um, It's crazy. I mean, but yeah, that's how that happened. Okay, okay. I'll just cut it there because I think I need to maybe take a nap and then so I can talk because yeah, like I said, I feel kind of tired, but okay. So yeah, the recap. So yeah, I'll just talk about how we'll talk about how that wedge between me and my son, how well, that's how it started, and that's how it kept going, and yeah. So okay, I'll stop now. I'll talk some more later.